Welcome once again, everybody. Cannabis News with Joe Klare is December 4th, 2018. Presented as always by the Marijuana Times. Check us out at marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab there to find this show. A bunch of great articles as well, social media networks, and more. Go check it out, marijuanatimes.org. Today, we're talking about marijuana legalization, possible marijuana legalization in New York, the beginning of the actual inaction of marijuana legalization in Michigan. And we continue the story of Elon Musk, the blunt hit heard or seen or both around the world, and probably the consequences for that. Talk about all that coming up. But first, Cannabis News is brought to you by Natureside, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Grow safe and poison-free. Don't use banned pesticides. Don't use harmful chemicals. You know the deal. Use something organic, all natural, and effective. That's Natureside, nature-side.com. Site is spelled C-I-D-E. Proud sponsor of Cannabis News. Thank you to them. This first story by Julia Granowitz over marijuanatimes.org. New York lawmakers meet to discuss plans to legalize cannabis. On December 3rd, the hearing was held at Babylon Town Hall in Long Island and was attended by numerous legislative officials who were looking for public opinion on recreational cannabis as the state prepares to consider the Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act in the coming legislative session in January. Creating an adult use system in New York raises important issues about the economic structure and regulation of production, distribution, and sale. This is what part of what the letter originally announcing the meeting said. Criminal justice and public health concerns, social and economic equity demands, ensuring opportunities for smaller scale and minority and women-owned businesses, and other relevant regulatory matters all need to be considered. In other words, it's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long time. They're considering 10 different aspects of legalization, when what they really need to be worried about is legalization. I would not be the least bit surprised to see New York get bogged down for the next couple of years in what they're going to do here. New Jersey, we just saw this happen in New Jersey. They were talking back before when Phil Murphy was elected. Oh, it was maybe spring of 18. It was maybe summer, and maybe fall, maybe winter. They're still working on legalization in New Jersey, and it may be even longer in New York. But they are progressing, and they are getting public comment. So if you live in New York, maybe we want to get a hold of people who represent you in New York and let them know your thoughts, and let them know that this doesn't need to be a 2-year saga of figuring out what to do. Legalization is not that hard. It's just not that hard. I know, they say, oh, well, there's no blueprint, blah, blah, blah. Actually, there is. There's dozens and dozens of states that are medical marijuana states. Now there's almost a dozen states that are recreational states. There's plenty of information out there that you can base what you want to do off of to get things like this done. But I foresee just many, many meetings and just, we got to worry about this. No, we got to regulate and attach, government control to every single aspect of what's going on here from seed to sale and beyond. And it's going to be a while. While the focus of the bill is regulating and taxing the commercial sale of cannabis, another major focus is a significant reform of the criminal justice policy surrounding marijuana. That's easy. Legalize marijuana. Anybody who's been convicted of crimes that are now legal, let them go. You may be saying to yourself, well, you're simplifying it. Yeah, I am. It needs to be simplified. It really does. The criminal justice policy surrounding marijuana, they got to focus on that. No, you legalize marijuana, and everybody who's in jail for something that is now legal, you tell them to go home. And then you're done. You wipe that off their record. You're done. But no, there's got to be, there's so many meetings. So many meetings. But New York is on the path to adult use legalization, and that is a good thing. This next story from WSBT.com. Recreational marijuana will be legal in Michigan on Thursday. But, of course, marijuana will be legal to possess in Michigan for adults. There'll be nowhere to buy it because there are no retail system. It's not even close to being up and running. Officials with the licensing board, in fact, say it could be 2020 before there are open recreational dispensaries. If you don't have a medical marijuana license, there won't be anywhere in Michigan that you can legally purchase marijuana, which means the people who are allowed to possess it in Michigan now will be illegally purchasing their marijuana. Which, as I pointed out before, it's a great deal for dealers. Only thing that's illegal is the little part where you like the exchange of money and product happens. That's illegal. Everything else is legal. They leave your place. They got an ounce on them. They're good. There's no problems. Right now, the application to even apply to own a recreational business isn't expected to be completed until a year from now. The application to apply to own a recreational marijuana business has to be available by December 6th of 2019. The licensing board will have its own regulations and also look at each city's laws. The local municipalities have the ability to put restrictions on the facilities in their area. The state's job, our job, is to license facilities as long as they have approval at the local level. It's according to David Harns, Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs in Michigan. There's also an attempt, as I pointed out, maybe it was last week before, lawmakers are considering banning home growing in Michigan. So all you have left is possession, and you'll have no choice but to go to a legal dealer if they ban home growing to get marijuana, unless you're a medical marijuana patient, of course, in Michigan. So speaking of delays, 2020 for retail shops in Michigan, they're saying early 2020, possibly. I'm going to go down a limb and say look more towards later in 2020. If it's in 2020, no, I don't know. They're talking about a year before they even get the licenses going. Why is it a year? I'm sorry. This may be a dumb question, but why is it going to take a year to put together a recreational retail license application? Is it that difficult? A year? You have a couple smart people working on this. They can't get a form together. They can't get a computer system together to where they'll list the people who have turned in their forms and whether or not they are approved or not, and generate some kind of random number that will designate them as an approved licensee or licensed retail shop in Michigan. Is all that really so hard? In 2018, where I am broadcasting to people around the world about cannabis news with just a webcam, a mic, a mixer, 2 computers, and a light, and some posters. I don't know. A year to put that form together. That's just to get the license application. Then the people got to start applying, and they have to go through that system. I don't know. It seems excessive. That's the word I'm looking for. I was searching for the word. It's excessive. It's so much time. Why? I don't know. But dealers in Michigan, well, man, have at it. Thursday, it's free reign. No competition. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't even trip, dog. Slash story from the Atlantic.com. NASA administrator on Elon Musk. That was not appropriate behavior. He's talking, of course, about Elon Musk drinking and hitting a blunt on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, which was, a couple months ago now? The consequences are still coming upon Elon Musk. Jim Bridenstine, a NASA administrator, the founder, said to the founder of SpaceX, Elon Musk, basically that he can't smoke weed and drink whiskey on a podcast again. I will tell you that that was not helpful. That did not inspire confidence, and the leaders of these organizations need to take that as an example of what to do when you lead an organization that's going to launch American astronauts, Bridenstine said Thursday at a meeting of reporters at NASA's headquarters in Washington, D.C. Apparently, obviously Boeing is one of the companies, SpaceX is one of the companies that have contracted with the government to build shuttles and rockets to launch people into space, which the government is not in the business of anymore, since the shuttle was retired in 2011. Bridenstine, he's worried, people have died in space, and it's all, going into space is all very technical and has to be precise, and you don't want people all high and drunk while they're doing it. But what it really comes down to is the visuals of this. He doesn't want to see it ever again. The fact that Elon Musk was drinking whiskey and hit a blunt was no big deal, but the fact that he did it in front of millions of people, it creates an image problem for NASA. People who remember, the Challenger in Columbia and shuttles blowing up, and they get these visions, apparently, I guess, of SpaceX's, because Elon Musk hit a blunt on a podcast. SpaceX is just nuts, man. You go into SpaceX offices and they're doing, they're snorting blow off a prostitute's rear and just all kinds of crap. But what it comes down to is the image problem. No one's worried really about Elon Musk drinking some whiskey and hitting a blunt, and that somehow compromises the safety of American astronauts who are in SpaceX-built or on equipment, in their equipment, using their equipment, whatever. No one really believes that Elon Musk, after the Joe Rogan podcast was over, he went to a SpaceX factory nearby and barged his way in and said, I'm Elon Musk. I want to work on a rocket. And he grabbed a wrench and got in there and started banging around. Said, I'm Elon Musk. I'm working on a rocket. Nobody believes that happened. But again, the image problem for NASA is not good. NASA declined to offer a specific reason for the reviews that it was doing of the people who are making the rockets and the shuttles. They simply said at the time the agency will be conducting a cultural assessment study in coordination with our commercial partners to ensure the companies are meeting NASA's requirements for workplace safety, including the adherence to a drug-free environment. That news broke last week in the Washington Post, so those reviews were going to be conducted. Bernstein said he's studied the tragedies that have happened in the past with the shuttles. They asked him about Musk's actions on the Rogan show. He said, I think those were not helpful. Bernstein said he had spoken with Musk recently. We've had a number of conversations. I will tell you he is committed to safety as anybody, and he understands that was not appropriate behavior, and you won't be seeing that again. And there is the crux of the matter. You won't be seeing it again. They don't care if Elon Musk goes home and hits a blunt and drinks some whiskey. It has nothing to do with the safety of SpaceX or what they're building. It's ridiculous that they would think that it does. But the visuals were bad, and NASA has to be seen as, we reprimanded Mr. Musk and told him, you better not be doing that again. You better not be shooting up heroin balloons on Adam Carolla or whatever. But in and of itself, having employees of any industry anywhere go home at night and partake of a little alcohol and maybe a little cannabis. A lot. The answer is a lot. That's going to do it for us today for Cannabis News. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos and helping us spread the truth about cannabis with the show. Thank you to Natureside, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. They are awesome. Make sure you check us out at marijuanatimes.org. Search YouTube and Vimeo for the videos, and search the Marijuana Times on Apple Podcasts for the audio-only version of the show. Thank you for watching and listening today, and we'll see you next time right here on Cannabis News.